for you personally, what's one thing you're excited about and maybe one concern you have about the future of the industry?
One thing I'm excited about, I think that there's never been a better time to be in network marketing because everyone wants an opportunity to make money for themselves.
Mhm.
They're they're not wanting to work that 9 to 5, even more now than
Yeah.
even before.
Yeah.
I hear most people say I got to work for myself, right? I
Hmm.
want to do that, and so I think that's exciting because the next generation is going to be even more that way. If we're like that, they're going to be even more,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's going to be exciting for the industry is that we're going to see a lot more people and especially if we can be classy about it and actually create this space that people can come to and get success and not do it spammy and not, have to talk to their friends and family about it. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be attractive.
We are Attraction Marketing. Welcome. Julie Warner.
Hey,
How's it going?
doing really
Welcome
good.
to the Attraction Marketing Show.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
Dude,
This
it's
is
so great
fun.
to have you here. I'm excited. Love that you're a part of our community.
Oh,
It's cool to have you go from being like a student that really worked hard to being somebody who shares the gift, as it were. So I got to be honest, this is kind of cool.
it
Like,
is cool. Oh, it's cool for me too,
yeah,
and to I don't know, kind of feel like I'm entering a different level. Hey, I'm with you guys. Like
heck
I'm
yeah.
not just like learning this. And
Hmm.
I mean, you're always a student. You're always learning. You're always refining those skills. But I feel like I'm getting to a place where I can actually, I don't know, be with you guys.
Sure, sure. Well, it's cool because, you came in and were always that coachable, open student, awesome energy. And really, I think it was almost like a foregone conclusion. It's the weirdest thing to say because it sounds like it's inherently obvious to us because we can see that. You're like, oh, yeah, she's a total rock star. But to the
Yeah,
person,
I don't think that that
see,
was me because I was, like, seriously in the corner just like, "Let me just soak everything in. I have
yeah.
no idea what I'm doing." Right?
So how long have you been in network marketing?
So I first started in 2019, so
Okay.
not a super long time. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a young person, so
sure.
it's not been forever,
Yeah.
but yeah, so 2019.
Did you see it as like, hey, this is my profession, or was this more like, yeah, let's see how it works out? Like, did you come into it full bore, or was it more like, let's see how it goes?
I don't really take anything at half baked. Like
Hmm.
I really run at stuff. And so I was like, I want to do this. I need some extra income for my family. I'm really into DIY and I really wanted to make some projects happen in my house. And I was like, I need extra money because we can't just like take food off the table to do DIY projects.
Sure.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And I had just had a baby. And so it was like, ah, crap. Life just got real.
Yeah.
It's expensive. And then I had to quit. I was teaching school at high school. I taught dance and PE.
Mm,
And then when I had my kids, I quit doing that. And
mm.
so then, the economy's like, "Hey, you still gotta pay for all of this stuff." And I was like, "We need some more income." And
Sure.
so that's kind of what got me headed in that direction. And
Yeah. Did you have a
yeah.
background like as a dancer? Like, how did you become a dance instructor or a PE instructor?
Yeah, so I've danced since I was 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, been on dance teams. I danced in college, toured all around Europe
No
dancing.
joke. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
So,
you got a little bit of accomplishment there.
yep,
And you have two kids?
I do. Yep,
Are
I
they,
have.
do they dance?
Well, they're 3 and 1.
Okay.
So
So,
but we do turn on the music in the kitchen, and they got some moves. Like, they're
nice.
pretty cute.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yep.
And you guys are in Utah, yeah?
Yep.
That's
Live
very
over in
cool.
Utah.
Nice.
Yep. It's, up in the Cache Valley area. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but kinda hometowny, which I love. It's not in the city, and I don't know. They're
Yeah,
just beautiful mountains, and Utah's the best.
very nice. So, what's your kind of big draw for your business? What's the thing that for you is kind of like that driver? Like, man, I'm going to do this because ever since I've had the opportunity to know of you and then get to know you, I've seen somebody who's like on fire. And that's not it's not that it's not typical, it's just that it's very like in your case, you have it in spades. So it's definitely not like a oh, she just drinks a lot of coffee in the morning. This feels very like internal drive type of thing. What's that? What is that for you?
Well, I'm a huge board game player, and
Okay.
I love winning. It
Okay.
is not my brothers and I and my husband, we get into these really long games that'll be like 2 and 3 hours, and I'll just be like, "No, I'm gonna blow you guys out of the water." Like, I'm
Okay.
not gonna win by, like, 3 points, I'm gonna win by, like, 60,
Gotcha.
right? And so then coming into network marketing, I didn't realize that that's kind of the person that I was,
Hmm.
but I was as I, like, learn skills and different things from this community, I've realized that that's coming out in here,
Hmm.
that I'm like, "I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna blow this out of the water," and I wanna figure it out to a point that I can, teach it to somebody else, that I'm gonna it's not necessarily that I have to be the top, like,
Hmm.
that's not really the drive, but it's like, I want to learn this so well
Right.
that I can do it and transfer it to all these different areas.
Hmm.
So, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like this internal, I have to figure this out to a point that it's solid.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if anybody was listening to that, it's one of the things that for me would be like, let's pause and talk about that. Because when it comes down to that desire, like, I will figure this out, as opposed to, hey, spoon feed it to me. Basically, you figure it out and make it make sense for me. Two very different behaviors. So, how has that served you? What have you learned, like, where maybe you've grown faster, you've developed the skill more thoroughly? How's that worked out for you?
So when I came into attraction marketing, I really started we have 2 different roadmaps, the organic and automated. I started automated because I have 2 little kids, and I
Mhm.
was like, I need to kinda not be hands off because it's not hands off,
Yeah.
but just I need to learn this automated thing and put it out there so that I'm not always on social media,
Mhm.
because it's really important for me to be with my kids.
Yeah.
And so I, um, got into the ads and was like, I'm gonna learn how to do this.
Mm.
And if you've run ads before, it's always a tweaking. It's always
Sure.
like refining. And so for a while, I was writing a new ad every single week.
Wow.
Yeah. And just, okay, that one didn't work. We're going to do something else. That
Mhm.
one didn't work. Okay, we're going to do something else. And I was always refining it. I was relentless at,
Mhm.
okay, what didn't work? Let's fix it. What do I need to change to get it going? And I think that's part of how I got the success that I'm getting is that
Mhm.
I wasn't willing to say no,
Yeah.
right? Like I saw that it wasn't working, shut it off. Let's try it, do another one, and then if gets a sale, we'll let it run,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's the refining, it's the always coming back to it and looking at it again and not getting discouraged and
Mm.
being like, okay, if it didn't work, there's something I can fix, right?
Yeah.
So
I love that. So that's, like,
yeah.
the approach. What literally were you doing? Were you, like, looking at the copy? Were you refining, like, "Hey, this sentence didn't flow right," or what did that actually look like for you?
So it depends on the ad because I do mostly video ads. Some of mine have been images, but it would be like refining the hook or like, hey, the first thing that people see when they're scrolling. And if that didn't bring people in, there's a metric you can put into um, Facebook ads manager that's like, are people actually watching the first three
Mhm.
seconds? And if they're not, they're scrolling, right?
Yeah.
So that hook is super important. So I would look at that. And then also, of course, you want it to have a sale. So you're looking if it didn't get a sale. But then even before that, is it getting a lead? Like, are you actually having people opt in to your freebie, right? Like
Mhm.
it's not um if it's not converting even for people to get something free, then there's something wrong
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
ad in the beginning. So those are the types of things I would kind of look at. And then if I wasn't getting some of those metrics, then I would turn around and either rewrite the first part of the hook or scrap it and rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah. Got it. So you mentioned 2 different roadmaps, the organic and the automated, and you made a conscious choice to go with the automated.
Mhm.
What do you think if a person's like, "Hey, I'm not sure which direction to go," what would they need to kind of think about for themselves as to whether or not they were going to go one direction or the other? Because you can technically do both, but
Mhm.
let's be frank, you want to kind of focus on one, get the momentum going, and then pivot. So how would you guide somebody if they're like, "I don't know which direction to go?"
Well, it's funny because when I first started, I wanted to do both. And
Mhm.
I was like trying to do them both at the same time. And I had several mentors say, no, you need to pick one. Because, and at first I was like, no, I can do it all. I'm the type of person that's, let's just do it all.
Mhm.
Right. But I realized the value in picking one direction because then all of my focus went towards that.
Mhm.
And then at a certain point, you can pick up and, do other things with it. But it wasn't until I kind of figured out this one's rolling, I'm actually making money and not just like one sale. I'm getting a sale a day or that kind of thing. And then I can now pivot and add that second portion in.
Sure.
But, to answer your question, do you wanna give up time or money?
Right.
I mean, because if you're gonna go the automated route, you do have to put in some money,
Mhm.
and it's testing, and I think I don't wanna set an unrealistic expectation of just like, "Oh, you're gonna get a sale in your first month," because you might not.
Right.
Right? And that
Yeah.
first part, you're learning how to set up an ad. You're learning how to attract people to your page. It's still those same principles of the organic roadmap of I'm attracting a new audience to me.
Mhm.
Even though it's paid,
Mhm.
they're choosing to come to my page. They're choosing to enter my email list, and I have to know how to attract them
Right.
to that point.
Right.
Right? So, I do think it comes down to, are you willing to spend your time to put in the time to create reels and posts and comments and all the things every day, or are you willing to put in some money
Mhm.
and then time to learn all the, I guess, tech?
Mhm.
There is some time to learn that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's I think the other part too is I think folks get a little bit nervous or they get a little bit like, I don't know, man. The minute you enter the T word tech, they
Yeah.
start thinking that it's going to be something where they've got to have an engineering degree, which obviously you don't.
No.
But there is an element where you want to, be patient with yourself and have that learning curve, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing though is that if you're going to run the automated route and do the affiliate program, attraction marketing has all of the funnels set up for you.
Hmm.
So you don't have to create that.
Hmm.
And if you wanted to get up and running today, you could even use Fernie's video. You don't even have to have your own video in that funnel.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very reachable.
Hmm.
It's just, putting in a little bit of effort to like learn how to do the ads.
Sure. Sure. Now, we were talking about this before. You literally love funnels.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
like your jam. So let's talk about that. If I'm new and you say a funnel, mentally have a picture of the funnel, but what are we talking about? What is the actual, what's going on? What is a funnel? What does it do? How does it work?
Okay, so, a funnel is just bringing someone from point A to point B where you want them to be, right? And kind of a transformation you would hope that they get from, "Hey, this stinks, and now it's great."
Hmm.
So
Right.
that it can be simple, right? But this specific funnel for the automated roadmap is, I put a post out there, and then I put some money behind it, so it's sponsored, right? And then the person comes into an opt-in page,
Hmm.
and then they get a freebie, that comes to their email, and then they're nurtured on my email list until they wanna buy, and then, I have even more put in place that they can, uh, then join my network marketing team and, book on my calendar. They book on my calendar, I don't have to do
That's
anything.
beautiful. So you're not reaching out to
No.
them.
No.
You just look up, you go, okay, well, tomorrow I've got a
Yep.
booking at 8 a.m. I got another
Yep.
one at, oh, that's cool.
No, it is so cool,
Do
and then
you,
they talk to me in a Zoom call, and then we decide if it's a good fit for me or
okay.
them, right? Like,
Yeah.
it has to be for both of us, and then, yeah, I bring them in.
Nurture, you talked about that. I think that's one thing we definitely drill here at Attraction Marketing, but a lot of times people aren't necessarily super clear on that. So if somebody comes in, let's talk about this. They're in the front end of the funnel. They're like, okay, cool. Who is this Julie person? She
Mhm.
seems awesome. They enter the funnel. Now they're in the nurture phase. What's going on? What does that actually mean? When you nurture somebody, what is actually happening?
So, I'm giving them all of my secrets. Like, I'm
Mm,
giving them my hacks. I want them to say, "Wow, Julie knows what she's talking about,
mhm,
and she's helpful to me." Like,
mm.
I don't want them to just be like, "Oh, she's on this pedestal," right? Like, I
Yeah,
want them to
yeah.
be like, "She tells me how to help me in my business or, these things that I can use today,"
Mhm,
right? So it's that value that you're providing to their life and their business.
mhm.
And I like to repurpose stuff. So I do some organic reels on my Instagram and then I repurpose them and create them into emails that I send out.
Mhm.
So I don't have to like recreate everything from scratch. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of putting them on different platforms. And so that's what I usually do is I think of some things that, hey, what could help that person today get a win in something, and
Mhm.
then I send that out.
I love that.
Or I think about like, "Hey, what did my team how did they get a sale this week? Let me tell them how that happened," right?
Yeah.
And then I say, "Here, this is how you close out the month strong," or,
Right.
something like that.
That's cool. So you help them. Wow. Universal. When it comes to nurturing, all you gotta do is help
Yeah,
somebody. I have a genuine
right.
desire to wanna help. So you don't have to be an expert. You just
No.
have to be somebody who genuinely wants to help. So was there ever a time kind of like early in your process, early in your journey where you're like, dude, who am I? Am I qualified for this? Or were
Oh,
you
yeah.
like, hey, dude, I got this?
No.
Okay.
I
Tell
didn't
us more about that.
I it's definitely one of those, you don't feel qualified until I don't well, yeah.
Do you ever like,
No, because then it's the next thing, right? You're like,
yeah.
"Well, I haven't hit this rank," or whatever, right? And I haven't gotten this many amount of dollars. Well, it doesn't matter because that person is one step behind you and they came to you for a reason. They came to you because you had something attractive that they wanted help with,
Mm,
right? So they already kind of see you as an authority person if they're coming to you.
yeah.
And so take that.
Hmm.
I
Right.
actually had someone message me on Instagram being like, "Well, I can see that you don't have a lot of followers, but you're somehow rocking it because I can tell.
Hmm.
So tell me all about your strategies."
Yeah.
Right? And that was like the beginning of my journey. I think I had, 50 to 100 followers on Instagram. But that was the type of message that I got because of the content that I was putting out.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm so glad you said that. Fernie and I were actually talking about this last night over dinner. Was he? We were referring to an Instagram influencer, and she had 1 million followers. And he said,
Wow.
Matt and I were talking about, oh, she's got 1 million followers, and she does this niche thing, very, very niche. And Fern goes, I would rather have 250,000 than 1 million.
Hmm.
So long as those 250,000 deeply knew me. Because you can get to 1 million and it seems like this big number, but it's almost sort of like after a while, people are like, really? Like 1 million? And it loses its effect. And what he was basically saying is not just that the number's not important, it's the relationship, it's the ability to convey what you have and demonstrate that you actually care.
Well,
And
and
I
I also think it's relatability.
Yeah.
Because that person was I could reach out to you because you seem a little bit more on my level, and what are you doing and how can I get there?
Mhm.
Whereas if I had major influence or, if I'm Mel Robbins or,
Yeah.
somebody that's unapproachable,
Right.
in my opinion. I'm
Sure.
not gonna message her.
Right.
So
Yeah, you'd think, "Oh, I can't message her. She's gonna cost, $50,000 just to get on a call," you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love her. I love looking at all of her stuff and she obviously like inspires me,
Mhm.
but I'm not going to message her and
Yeah.
actually ask for help,
Mhm.
right? And so somebody I had, 50 to 100 followers and she reaches out and she's like, "Okay, I feel like you could actually help me because you're where I'm at."
Mhm.
That's huge,
Yeah.
right?
That's pretty
So
cool.
it is and network marketing is all about relationships.
Yeah. So, did you learn that early? Like, was that, like, something that you carried forth from life, or is that something that you sort of developed as a business person, that desire to really build relationships, build connectivity with people?
I've always been kind of a people person. My house was the party house. Like people
Nice.
would come over. I bought a house when I was 24 and I was like, this is gonna be the house. I was single. We're all gonna play here. And
Cool.
I like gathering people.
Nice. Did you were like talk a little bit about your background. When you were you was that kind of like the way you were raised? Was that your family life like that?
Yeah, so there's 7 kids in my family. We always loved hanging out and,
Huh.
partying and stuff. Yeah, so then when I got to college, I always was the one that's, "Hey, let's go down hiking this weekend. Go do something because I don't wanna just sit here and
Yeah.
do nothing,"
Yeah.
right? And so then after I graduated, when I bought that house, I was like, "I'm gonna create this environment that
Mhm.
anyone can come, anyone can be a part of it," and it ended up just being, game nights and group hangouts and movies, and I love that. I
That's
think
cool.
the environment is a big deal.
So it's interesting because that's sort of been your approach. I think almost like that's translated into like how you show up on social media and how you build your business. Are you, do you do a lot of organic stuff?
I do some. I'm picking up more on that side now that my funnel's dialed in. I've been starting to like create that and be like, "Hey, come sit at my table. Be with
Yeah.
me."
Come to the house.
Yeah. Let's chat about your life and my life and, let's see if you can come be a part of what I'm doing.
So you don't have to be some big fancy influencer. You just got to be somebody who opens the door and says, "Welcome to the table."
Yeah,
That's
no.
pretty cool.
It is.
That's awesome. You mentioned Mel Robbins. Any other influences that you look to and go, man, that person's really squared away, or that's somebody that inspires you?
Um, let's see. I like Alex Hermosi.
Yeah, yeah.
I just like jive with his content
Heck yeah.
because I think he's raw
Yeah.
and like he'll just tell you how it is. And I always find myself just thinking about whatever he said. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So I love his content and
I
looking at
love that.
stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, my friends, hope you're enjoying the show. I wanted to take a quick minute and invite you to something very cool. If you are tired of following up with dead leads, if you're tired of all the spammy, scammy conversations online, if you're tired of chasing down friends, family, and people you work with just to get somebody interested in your business, and you would actually like to talk to highly qualified people who have a genuine interest in doing business with you, then we have our all digital 5-day boot camp that teaches you all the things that we do, and it will help you get 3 to 7 new customers each and every single week. That's our personal guarantee to you. If you want to take advantage of that, click the link directly below this, or you can go to attractionmarketing.com/YouTube. Now, let's get you back to the show. So you came in student rock star, but like you did it. There was never like, I'm going to show you like to us, like I'm going to show off and try to get on
No.
the radar. You got on the radar because of your hard work and your awesome passion and your attitude and all that kind of stuff. What is it you do now? I know what you do, but for those that don't know, what is it you're doing currently right now with us in the company?
So I've been doing what we call the affiliate program.
Hmm.
And, that's part of the automated roadmap that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I I just wanted to start making sales doing that and then bringing the people onto my network marketing team.
Hmm.
Because I think some people also think of those as 2 different things. Like the affiliate program is separate than building my network marketing business. And
Yeah.
that's not true, right? Like
Okay.
my ultimate goal is to build my network marketing business and
Hmm.
bring these people, if they're searching to find that place,
Hmm.
right? And so yeah, so I started doing that and like running the ads and um it's been fun because, I started at $100 and then I went to 1,000 and then I went to $10,000 months and I was like, okay, this is cool.
Awesome.
Like I want
Yeah.
to just keep going with all of this. So now, attraction marketing has kind of, asked me to speak on the funnels and the Facebook ads this weekend, as well as I run the coaching calls every other week
Hmm.
and help people with their ads and look at their metrics and say, okay, this needs to be optimized, or how can we tweak that
Yeah.
and help them also succeed at this
Yeah.
because it is reachable. You just got to put in the time,
When
right?
you say put in the time, what would you require, or what would you recommend that what are they literally doing when they're putting in the time? Focusing on what?
Your creative is the biggest thing that I
Mhm.
could say. Because if somebody just scrolls by your creative, they're never even gonna go into your funnel.
Yeah, and the creative being
Being an image or a video.
okay.
And so that's where I would focus most of my time is figuring out the wording that you're gonna put in that or overlay text. And when I say video, you don't have to be talking in the video. Like it can be B-roll with overlay text, but make sure it's about your story and, kind of your transformation of this is where I was and this is where I am now because of whatever product I'm using. For me, it's attraction marketing because I went from this, struggling and I was doing vendor events all the time and I was so exhausted. And now everything's on social media and I can
Yeah.
be at home with my kids and I get a sale while we're walking to the park, right?
That's awesome. Yeah. So the video, do you recommend it's a video of just like your dog or a video of yourself?
I usually do myself and my
Cheers. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for answering a
Yes.
leading question.
Well, but also with my kids,
Yeah.
I, like, try to show my life, right?
Okay.
One of my best performing ads is me and my daughter just cooking over our stove, and I don't show her face because I don't really love that all over social media,
Sure.
but it's just that's an everyday moment for us, right? Like, we're in the kitchen,
Mm.
we're enjoying time together, so I just wanted to show, "This is my life as a network marketer."
Mhm.
I don't I I don't wanna show anything else, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
that's who I am, that's what I do every day.
Do you find when people come on and they come to you and they're looking for your guidance, do they have that concern? Like, what do I show? Like, I don't have anything special. I'm not some big fancy influencer. I don't have the big house and the car and all the stuff.
Mhm.
Is that something that you
Yeah.
see as like kind of like a pushback on that?
Yeah, because, maybe they haven't been on stage or
Mhm.
maybe they don't have presidential diamond rank or
Right.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna go back to approachability
Mhm.
because somebody who has that much influence, maybe they're the top of their company. Am I, as somebody that's struggling at the bottom, gonna go talk to somebody at the top? I don't know, maybe. Maybe I'd be
Right.
that bold,
Yeah.
but maybe not because I'm gonna talk to somebody that, "Okay, you've been in my shoes recently.
Mhm.
You know what I need to do now." Whereas somebody that's accomplished that 10 years ago, they might not know all the skills that are needed right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is. It's approachability and showing.
Do you find any are there like any common themes? So when you run the leader or the training calls, do you see any kind of like common themes that come up? Questions, it's like, oh, I seem to get the same stuff over and over again.
Well, everyone wants a sale, of course,
Oh yeah, well,
right?
of course. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and so I guide people, "Hey, we have a roadmap for a reason. We've gotta start with a likes campaign. We've gotta start with the very beginning. Because if you don't build that attract factor and then influence and then, building it up, you're not gonna get a sale,
Hmm.
right? It's you do have to follow right from the beginning. So I get a lot of questions about that, like, "Well, how do I get a sale?" And I'm like, "Where are you on the roadmap?
Hmm.
Where are we? Are we trying to get leads right now? If you're trying to get leads, then that's the goal. Let's get 50 leads in a week or whatever that
Yeah.
target is, and not and then we'll focus on the sale after that point,
Hmm.
right? And then when we get 100 leads in one country, then we're gonna start doing conversion ads, right? Like, and I get it. I wanna make a sale too,
Yeah.
but building that base is how you're going to get the sale, right?
So important. Yeah. I wish more people actually got that because it takes a lot of pressure off. If
Yeah.
you're like, "Hey, man, I wanna make sales," the obvious answer is, "Of course you do. Who wouldn't?" That's the
Mhm.
point. And yet, if you haven't figured out, like, if the people don't even know who you are yet, then asking for the sale seems a little bit ludicrous, a little bit getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, and
So
desperate.
and
And
desperate,
and and
yeah.
we don't wanna sound desperate, but we are because that's why we're here. We
Yeah.
wanna make the money, but if I don't know, you do have to build to
Yeah.
that point. Because if you don't have that base that I've been talking about, the attraction is that base of
Mhm.
people that even care about what you have to say, then even if they did buy, they're gonna be out the window the next day,
Right.
right? They're gonna be on to the next thing. We're still in a relationship business even though it's online.
Oh, 100%. Especially because it's online. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, I think, we're so far along in society that social media is here to stay. We get that. It's so pervasive that it's everywhere, and at the same time, it's very easy to feel disconnected. So
Mhm.
the real win is to break that feeling down and actually build the connection.
I totally agree.
What I do you think that's like a where does that come from inside network marketing? Do you think it's an industry, like, I don't want to say failure, but is it something that people just sort of assume, or is it just not talked enough about, trained on, and therefore people given the skills to build to be able to actually build those connections? What do you think? Where does that come
Because
from?
I think that we lead with the sale.
Ah,
I think that's the problem is that we're taught, okay, go out and get the sale, and in our own heads because we want that, right? But then we don't realize that to get the sale, you need to actually be able to help somebody. You can't just like
yeah,
shove something in their face and hope that they're gonna be like, yeah, I want that, right?
yeah,
Like you can ask someone to come to a presentation, but if they have no idea what it's about or want to be there, they're gonna leave.
yeah.
So
Yeah, nobody wants to be someplace they don't wanna be. Like, they're not gonna take action on that, like, "Ah, man, this sucks." "Oh, I'll buy your thing, though."
no, they're not gonna
Yeah,
do that. And so if you don't have that relationship with them, if you can't be like, "Hey, what are you actually struggling with?" You don't even know what product to recommend them.
yeah,
So that relationship factor is huge. And will continue along too. You don't want someone to just buy and then leave because maybe someday you want them to join your team.
mhm,
So if you don't have that relationship continuing and keeping going, that's never going to be a thing in the future.
yeah. You've had enough experience in this industry to be able to kinda see lots of you've been around the block a few times, let's put it that way. Do you see anything about the industry you would love to fix? Maybe it's something you're like, it's a glaring problem, or maybe it's just a small issue that could perpetuate into a bigger problem. Something that industry wide, you're like, if I was queen for a day, I would fix this. What would Julie Warner fix?
I mean, we've been talking about a lot with relationships. Like, I hate the let's write a 100-person list and go contact everyone in your phone because
Th-
I haven't talked to any of them since, high school or whatever.
Right.
And you have zero relationship with them.
Yeah.
They feel weirded out by it, and you're not going to get a sell anyway. And then it makes the person who's doing it feel not confident about their ability to sell, which isn't even true. It's
Hmm.
just you talked to the wrong person. Right?
So true.
So it's just let's get rid of talk to every single person in your whole life. Like create new relationships, talk about things that you care about, and then people will naturally talk to you about those same things,
Hmm.
and then they'll ask you, "What are you doing?
Hmm.
How can I fix whatever you just fixed in your life?" Right? And I that's what I would fix is don't
Okay.
literally talk to everybody you know from Adam and try to
Yeah.
convert them.
It's so crazy because you would think by now that people would have gotten that memo. That you just like you were talking about, it's almost like you delude yourself into thinking that you're not good at something, and it's like, well, nobody would be good at that. Like,
No.
you can't be awesome at being like, the type of person that can go into total strangers or a list of people you already know and have them just instantly get it. Like, nobody's gonna be good at that.
No.
So you say, "Oh, I suck at sales." No, you don't. You're
You
doing something that's
do.
a no-win situation.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's like trying to hit a football with a baseball bat. It's like they're not designed to do the two things. So you
No.
just, kind of put yourself on the 8 ball.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, you could talk to 1,000 people about, hey, hey, these skin things that are I sell for and like eczema or whatever. And if none of them have eczema, they're not gonna care. You could talk to
Yeah.
1,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that then the idea is okay, in those 1,000 people, a kid is gonna have eczema or whatever. But I'm
Mhm.
like, why not target people that have eczema?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, if you get into a situation, we're talking a little bit about target market now. Do you like how many times have you seen this where the person genuinely, the network marketer has something really valuable, something awesome, potentially like life-changing, not to be hyperbolic, but they're actually talking to the wrong people, and you're like, "Oh, dude, if you just turn the," it's like changing the channel on the radio, you know? Remember back in the
Mhm.
day, we had what knob,
Yeah.
or am I dating myself? You're like, "Just turn it. Oh, now you can hear the music. It's not static
Static,
anymore."
yep, uh-huh.
Talk a little bit about that. Like, how important is it to really be dialed in, no pun intended, to who you're talking to and actually speaking to the right people?
So, you can niche even further and further and further, like, um, than I even thought before, right? So let's take, like, weight loss, for example. You could lots of people need help with their weight.
Mm.
And, I mean, me included, like, everyone has a goal for that, right? We wanna be fit, we wanna whatever, right? But there's a difference between my husband who, would want to lose weight versus me after I had a baby,
Mm,
or, my parents, or there's like different stages of people losing weight. And
mhm,
just somebody after having a baby, like, are they nursing, right? That
mhm,
you might not be able to do some things to lose that weight.
mhm,
So everyone's going to have a different way of being able to solve that problem.
mhm,
So you want to be talking to that specific person,
mhm,
right? Because if they don't know, or if they think, okay, that's just a generic weight loss solution,
mm.
they're not going to think you're talking to them. But let's
Yeah.
say you talk to the mom that's right after had their baby and you're like, "Hey, I recognize where you're at. I've been there and I was nursing as well, and this is how I lost all the baby weight."
Mm.
What? Like, they're gonna be like, "You sound like me," right?
Completely different message. Like,
Yeah.
same solution, but a different way of delivering the message.
Mhm.
And now you've been heard.
Yep. And that product probably does work for all of those slew of people that I just talked about, right?
Right.
But if you have your story that they can relate to, it's gonna hit way different.
Man,
Right?
I'm so happy you said that. I think one thing, if I had like a desire, a wish, like we go back to like, hey, what would you change in the industry? It's the I would love for people to be more encouraged to get really clear on what it is you care about.
Mhm.
Like what's the hill you're willing to die on? Or more importantly, like if it's not if you don't want to go that route because it doesn't feel right, it's like what do you genuinely get excited about when it comes to helping people? If it's, hey, losing weight in the and being healthier and all these things because that's how you went through life or that's what you experienced through your product and that's what brought you to this company, then speak about that and then find the people that resonate with that message
Mhm.
as opposed
Mhm.
to, the company told us this works for every single person, everybody's a prospect. No, they're not. Not for you. That might be true of overall, like, maybe there's some truth to
Mhm.
that, but for you, the prospect is this person, and that's where you want
Mhm.
that's the exciting part because now you
Well,
don't have to talk to everybody.
it's so funny to say that because I was on this one-on-one call with Fernie, and I was telling him that my whole team was promoting this one product, and I was trying to fit everything to, like, promote this one product because that's what
Mhm,
everyone was doing, and he was like, "Well, is that the product you wanna promote?" And I was like, "Well, there's kinda this other product that has, like, a ton of before and afters, like a 13K group of testimonials," and he was like, "Why are you promoting that product?" And I was like,
yeah.
"Because my whole team has the resources for this one." And he was like, "Yeah, but what's actually gonna sell?" And I was like, "Well, that's true because everybody else is struggling to figure out how to present this product, and, there's not really before and afters and that kind of thing." And so I went rogue and was like, "I'm gonna do this because I can actually help somebody with something instead of it being the company's pushed product or
Yeah,
whatever."
that's cool. So, basically, you broke rank and did it your way. What happened? Like, how'd that work out for you?
I felt more authentic because then I could show stuff because it actually had before and after pictures because I
Mhm,
wasn't just like, "Oh, it helps with this," right? Like, these are people that this has actually helped, and so that changed
mhm.
everything, right? Because
Yeah,
then there's pictures involved, and then there's stories involved, and that sells more than anything.
yeah, that's awesome. So, a fairly successful and exciting, I don't know, say last 9 to 12 months for you.
Yeah.
What does that kinda look like? Give us a little bit of the rubber meets the road, like, how
How
is
this
your
happened.
yeah, how is your business grown and what's going on now?
So when I kind of found traction marketing, I was doing vendor events like every weekend, sometimes a full weekend. So I'd have to just leave the kids with my husband, and
Ugh,
you have to spend money to go be at those events. And then if you didn't recoup costs, like that was rough, right? And
yeah.
it'd be like 10 to 12 hours. You're just like sitting there, and sometimes we would make 10 sales or whatever. Like it's not that it wasn't a good strategy or it didn't work per se. It did,
Mhm.
but I was so tired.
Yeah,
I was like, and if I turned around and said, "Hey, teammate, go do this," right? They're like, "No, I'm
yeah,
not doing that," right? And I'm a person that's like, I'm just gonna go do it, right? But not everyone's like that. So then that's where I found attraction marketing, and I was like, I want to do online. None of my team was doing online stuff. Everything was vendor events or in-home parties. And so that's, kind of how I found attraction marketing. I was like, I need to do social media. There's so many more people on social
Yeah.
media that I can talk to. And
Yeah, I
so,
mean, how many people can you put in a vendor event?
well, whoever comes,
Yeah. But I
right?
mean, like, the building can only hold so many people.
Yeah.
Social media, and I mean, now granted, again, you're not talking to the whole Facebook or Instagram,
Hmm.
but clearly by a
Way
factor of
more.
10 or 100, right? Yeah.
And then they can come find you too, and you're not like pulling. Anyway, there's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then I started doing the funnels and built the funnels last June is when I like started. And then I really started it like turning in August, so 2024, yeah, the last year. And then I hit probably my first $1,000 month in like October, and then the first 10,000 in like February.
Mhm.
So it's just started
Wow.
picking up. And then the last 2 months, yeah, over the last 60 days, I've had above 18,000.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Heck yeah,
So
let's go.
that's fun.
Let's
And
go.
I know, right?
That's badass.
And then actually doing like we call a launch sequence here in attraction marketing. I've been doing this with a new thing that I've been up to, and I enrolled 3 team members in 10 days.
Nice. Nice. That is exciting.
So now we're rolling.
So now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
What's the future look like? Where do you see this kind of going for you? Just the current where you're at. What's the next like major milestone that you're pointed at?
Well, I'm gonna be in 6 figures. Like that's gonna be the next one. And
Excellent.
then um I I don't know. Let's shoot for 7. Like
Sure, sure.
it's just gonna roll from now. Because at first I was like, I didn't even know this was possible.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like I didn't even know that this type of thing could happen because I was, going from $100 to now we're at 10 plus.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what the heck?
You know what? I
And
love that you just said. I want to stop on this because
yeah.
I wish more people had this experience and accepted it the way you did. I'm like, what's next? Like, what do you see? And you're like, man, we're gonna go 6 figures, and then after that, I don't know, 7. But there's not like like you're not trying to be specific and put the pressure on yourself. You're like, we're pointed in the right direction, and we're gonna throw gas on this thing. We're gonna see how far it can go, and let's just see what happens. Almost like the place of just having fun with it. And then you sort of had this moment where you went into some appreciation for yourself and what you've done and what you're, kind of accomplishing. I think that's really great, and I don't think enough people do that. So, I just wanna kinda give you, like, a
Yeah.
kudo there
Well,
because
I think I remember you saying something about like you need to appreciate every sale because there are times that you didn't get any sales,
yeah.
right? And so every time I get a sale pop into my email from the affiliate or my network marketing, I just look at it and I'm like, thanks. Like I do give gratitude to that person, and I just think, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's working for one, attraction marketing is working,
Sure.
but, like, also I did that, right?
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
cool. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know, I with these 3 team members that I've, had the last 10 days, I'm now gonna turn my attention to them
Mhm.
and be like, "Let's get you guys where you wanna be," right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to start teaching everything that I've learned here at attraction marketing and pour it into them.
Yeah.
So,
Up in
yeah,
their
that's nice.
game. Developing tomorrow's leaders, one of our core values. Hey, my friends, hope you're enjoying the show. I wanted to take a quick minute and invite you to something very cool. If you are tired of following up with dead leads, if you're tired of all the spammy, scammy conversations online, if you're tired of chasing down friends, family, and people you work with just to get somebody interested in your business, and you would actually like to talk to highly qualified people who have a genuine interest in doing business with you, then we have our all digital 5-day boot camp that teaches you all the things that we do, and it will help you get 3 to 7 new customers each and every single week. That's our personal guarantee to you. If you want to take advantage of that, click the link directly below this, or you can go to attractionmarketing.com/YouTube. Now, let's get you back to the show. So you're here training. We're at a whole new setting here, DNL, Digital Networker Live. Speaking on the stage,
Yeah.
big girl stuff. What's on the docket for that?
So I'm gonna be talking about Facebook ads and the funnels and how to up your game with that. And even if you're not doing the affiliate program, I'm gonna show some of my funnels that I use for my products and my network marketing business to bring in team members. So you can use that funnel for anything.
Very cool.
And I'm gonna, dive all into that and it's gonna be awesome.
Well, I love that because it's a universal skill. Like it doesn't matter, like you said, you don't have to be in the affiliate program. A lot of times I think people feel kind of put off. They're like, "Oh, I have to be an affiliate for you." And the answer is absolutely not.
Hmm.
There's some benefit to it because it's kind of like training wheels. If you're brand new, you don't have an offer, or maybe you do, but you don't feel the necessarily the confidence or the chutzpah to do it for yourself. You can, like you said, kind of
Yeah.
draft off Fernie's stuff. So there's the benefit to that, but it's a skill that's transferable.
Yeah. Copywriting, ad creation, it just that skill is priceless,
Mhm.
really. And it translates to reels, even organically, right? Like all of that,
Yeah.
you need to know how to write to draw people in. Because
Mhm.
even on regular calls that we have with traction marketing, everyone comes and they'll be like, okay, look at this reel and analyze it for me, help me make it better. That's the same skill as what you're learning to write ads and all the copywriting, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the skill.
So there's an elephant in the room, and I like to talk about this because to me, when you talk about copywriting, it's one of the top, I would put it in the top three most important skills
Mhm.
that every entrepreneur has to know, whether you are the head of your marketing or if you're just running the company,
Mhm.
because it comes down to the ability to convey a message, to communicate,
Yeah.
to show the vision to another person. Like, honestly, that's all it comes down to, right? But then we have the almighty AI come in. So I want to know, how do you use AI? Because obviously it's effectively. You're not surrendering to it. You're not like, just abdicating your responsibility to AI. You're actually in ownership of it, and you're using it like a power tool, so to speak. So tell us a little bit about how you personally leverage AI in your business.
Well, it's funny because I was at an event a little while ago, and Fernie said something about AI being um, what the average person is going to be able to sound great,
Hmm.
and so if you want to be better, you've got to learn copywriting. And so for a while, I pushed that, even using AI, because I was like, no, I'm not going to be average. I'm not going to use AI because I want
Yeah.
to be above average.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
And
gonna
so,
kick your ass in this board game, AI. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So at first, when I heard Fernie say that, I was like, no, I'm not going to use it as a tool because then you rely on it.
Hmm.
Right. And so, but then I thought, okay, I've got to create a lot of content. We put out reels every day, and so I started using it and I would like write my story in there and be like, okay, help me create a post for this.
Hmm.
But I had to know what to tell it for one. You can't
Hmm.
just like use a generic post that somebody's telling you to put in there,
Yeah.
right? You've got to know what to tell it to write.
Hmm.
And then when it spits something out, you've got to say, that doesn't sound like me.
Hmm.
I've got to put some more of my personality in there. So it maybe helps me refine and like write something to springboard to get a better post out
Mm.
there. But I'm always gonna be putting my own stuff on there. I'm
Okay.
never copying it and putting it
Yeah.
on social
So
media.
TJ was talking about this previously. He was talking about you basically train AI. And
Mhm.
I think a lot of people think AI comes in loaded for bear, knowing what it's supposed to do. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It's
Nope.
almost like a child. You have to teach it how to do something.
Mhm.
So
It's a glorified Google.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just spitting what you want out of it,
Yeah.
but you need to train it to know who you are,
Hmm.
what your business is. You need to tell it your story and, like, how you transformed, and so it knows context
Hmm.
and the specifics of our target market, kinda like what we were talking about. If I'm talking about weight loss for those postpartum women, I'm gonna talk about my journey with that, and so
Yeah.
that the AI knows, "Okay, this is all the context, now give me a post."
Yeah.
So you're not just, like, taking a post or a prompt from someone and being like, "Create me 10 hooks," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's funny because it would be very easy even for me to ask you that. Like, "Hey, can you give our listeners some posts or some prompts that they could just use?" And the answer is, "I probably could, but"
yeah, but it's not gonna be
yeah.
targeted to what they need.
Yeah. So you gotta train it, because the one thing that I think a lot of people misunderstand is it will give you what you ask it, but it needs to have some context. It needs to have some
Mhm.
background. So if you tell it the story and your background, then it's going to be it's going to have a deeper complexity to it so that when you whatever it spits back to you is going to be more useful. Is that
Mhm.
fair enough to say?
100%.
Yeah.
And then we have something cool here at Attraction Marketing called our sales bot, and I've used that, and that's AI because we programmed it to know what to say to our people, and
Mhm.
it's gotten sales for me. Like,
That's amazing.
I know.
How does that work? Like for somebody who's totally unaware, how does the sales bot work for you?
So, um, it's like part of my sales sequence that, they comment something on my social media, and then the sales bot will take in and then send them my person an email with my freebie, and then it will start asking them questions, just, what are you struggling with, why did you even reach out, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's the purpose of you wanting to be in my community or my side of the internet, right?
Mhm.
Like, and then uh it will literally have a sales conversation with them, but not a normal sales, like, it's question asking,
Yeah.
and then it will just close it.
So is it like does the person feel like they're talking to you?
Yeah, and I feel bad sometimes because 'cause I'm like, "Ah, crap, I gotta, like, interject something of my own in there."
Sure,
I feel
sure.
bad.
Yeah.
AI is a little bit hard for me because 'cause I'm such a people person,
Yeah.
but I have been, it's middle of the night and there's UK members that come in, and then it just talks to them and they can chat, and there you go.
That's, I think, one of my favorite parts about the automation to it, because you do have people in different time zones that need help now. They
Mhm,
don't wanna wait until 8 o'clock your time because that's gonna be middle of the night for them. They want answers now. And
mhm,
so if you can promote or, kind of promote their growth or that process through your funnel
mhm,
sooner, especially if they're in pain or if they're in, need of the help or whatever, they're just excited. You may as well have it.
mhm,
It's not, and then you have the ability when the daylight is up and the sun is out and the kids are not doing something, or
mhm.
you're not involved with the kids, you can actually be involved with it too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, and the now, I mean, I'm like that. If I'm ever online and I look for a solution or something, I want the link now. I don't want it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like, cuz I'm excited or I needed it that at that point. So,
Mhm.
I think that there's value in the now and having that bot talk to them, and then I can still build that relationship after. Like, I'll still send them a text and say, "Hey, thanks for joining my community." Right? Like, I can still be in there, but then they can still get their help, and
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't have to be there at 2 in the morning.
that's great. That's pretty cool. Who knew, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that maybe 5 years ago, but 10 years ago that we would have that. You actually had to
Wow.
hire a person. You know,
Yeah,
back in the day, you had to hire somebody to do that, and
that's
not,
expensive.
and that's expensive
Yeah.
and not necessarily reliable, right?
Mm-mm.
I've heard those horror stories where, "Hey, I found the perfect person," and then they quit, or they went on to do something else, and now I gotta find this, and it's
Yeah,
almost a second job keeping
a
that person on
cycle,
board, yeah.
yeah.
So speaking of that, if you had to guess, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but let's pretend like you did. Where do you see kinda like the next, I don't know, 12 months to 5 years for the industry? Where do you think we're headed?
Uh, let's see. I don't know. I definitely think that AI is going to be part of that because everyone is learning that and getting to know it. Our team actually has our own chat GPT program for just our products and
Mhm.
how we sell, which so I think a lot more teams and companies will come out with that because it's valuable to be able to say, I'm selling this specific product and this is what it does, and how do I write a post about it in a way that's going to be beneficial for that person,
Mhm.
right? And so I definitely think that it will go more that direction
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Um Collaborative things, I think people are also creating and innovating, and we need to be innovating, right? So we need to come together and create things that haven't ever been done before,
Mhm.
right? Because we're always craving something new in the
Yeah. Yeah.
industry.
Always.
Yeah.
So if you had to, like, for you personally, what's one thing you're excited about and maybe one concern you have about the future of the industry?
Um, One thing I'm excited about, I think that there's never been a better time to be in network marketing because everyone wants an opportunity to make money for themselves.
Mhm.
They're they're not wanting to work that 9 to 5 even more now than
Yeah.
even before.
Yeah.
I hear most people say, I got to work for myself. Right. I
Mhm.
want to do that. And so I think that's exciting because the next generation is going to be even more that way. If we're like that, they're going to be even more.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's going to be exciting for the industry is that we're going to see a lot more people and especially if we can be classy about it and actually create this space that people can come to and get success and not do it spammy and not, have to talk to their friends and family about it. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be attractive.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What am I worried about? Oh, just that people will just stay stuck in the old ways and then it ruins it for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I mean that's already a thing, but it's just like it gives everyone a bad name or like, man, I will not support that because it's network marketing.
Yeah.
I've had that comment so many times, right? And I'm
Yeah.
just like, but you have no idea. And am I weird? No.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But it's just like normal people sell.
Yeah.
And we're getting sold to all the time on social media, right? Well, everywhere there's a sell, there's an influencer, there's Amazon, right? Like we're being sold to all the time.
Yeah.
So why not be influenced by somebody that you like
Right.
and that you could actually trust?
Yeah.
It's not just gonna give you something that you don't want or need or I don't know. And I guess that's my job now as a network marketer to be like, okay, let me listen to you and actually give you something that's going to help you and
Mhm.
not just push any product on them, right?
Yeah.
Like listen to them, know what's there, give them something that actually will help them in their life.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, look, I'm gonna ask a couple of rapid fire questions. So
Okay.
we get these mailed to us. We have just listeners across
All
the
the way.
globe, and they send us email and they send us mail to our home office, our PO box.
Okay.
Got just a stack of letters, kind of like Santa Claus. Got some questions for you. If there was one skill that you wish you had learned earlier, what would that be?
Just like in my business or in just life.
Yeah, let's call it business.
Okay. One skill I would have loved to know how to have a conversation with somebody that could lead them to a sale and not just like freeze up or uh push something on them.
Hmm.
Like I love that we talk about that here that it's a conversation and it's more of a consultative approach. I wish I would have known that earlier.
Okay.
Because I used to get to the sell portion of a presentation and I would totally freeze up because it was all about me.
Yeah.
Right? It was all about me and I want the sale and I want this, right? Like if I just actually knew to help somebody else would get all of us what we needed, wanted. I wish I would have learned that earlier.
Awesome. Do you have any advice that you would give yourself on day one that you didn't have until recently?
Take a chill pill.
Take a chill pill. I love it.
Because we get so excited and we want everything to happen day one,
Hmm.
right? And we want to be the rank because they teach us that you can hit this whatever, and you're just hurrying and hurrying and hurrying, but it's definitely a marathon and maybe not even a marathon. Maybe it's a walk through a nice place forever, right? Like we don't even have to run.
Yeah. I'm always in a hurry to get there.
Yeah.
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 That's amazing. Is there a person, a book, or a resource that's made a huge impact on your business career?
I really love Atomic Habits.
Okay. James Clear?
Yeah.
James Clear Atomic Habits.
I also love Mel Robbins' Let Them Theory. That
Okay.
one's a recent. And then Think and Grow Rich.
Hmm.
That one's just, abundance of
Sure.
everything in life and how you create it in your mind. And then it just becomes because you have action and you go and do it.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, probably those three.
I love it. This message or this one came in from Linda Lohman in Lancaster. She wants to know if you could be one Disney character, who would that be?
I love Giselle.
Giselle.
Yeah.
What about Giselle? Do you see
No.
Giselle in yourself or otherwise?
Yeah, mean, I love to sing and dance, and so I think she's just happy and sees things with a happy light. So I
That's
love
awesome.
Giselle.
Beautiful. Well, before I let you go, is there where can people find out more about you, follow you, and get to know you a little bit more?
So I'm at the Julie Warner on Instagram.
The Julie Warner.
The Julie Warner, that
The
one.
There you go. I love it.
Yep. So that's where you can find me, or just Julie Warner on
Yeah.
Facebook. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Julie, it's been a blast. I'm super, super stoked. I'm grateful that you're here
thanks.
and pumped that we get
Yeah.
to hang out and do some cool stuff together. So congrats on all your success and
Thanks.
thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Appreciate
this
you
has
being on
been
the
so
show.
fun. Thanks for chatting.
Awesome. Thanks. We'll
Yep.
see you soon. Hey, what's up, my friends? Hope you enjoyed that show. Hope you got some great value from the content and hope you enjoyed our conversation with our speaker. I want to just remind you, if you are ready to stop chasing people and start having people chase you, if you're tired of all the spammy, scammy conversations all the time, and you'd rather have 3 to 7 highly qualified customers each and every single week coming to you in your inbox, you are invited to grab our free 5-day digital boot camp that will teach you how to attract the right kind of people, create the kind of influence so you can start enrolling those 3 to 7 customers each and every single week. And you can get that at the link below, or you can go to attractionmarketing.com/YouTube. That's attractionmarketing.com/YouTube. And if you got some great value from this show and you want to stay in touch, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and of course, share this message far and wide. There will be much more conversations just like this one coming at you very soon. Look forward to having you with us here with the Attraction Marketing Show.